So I have my usual question that when I'm on the point to go back to very intense activity, I had an insight a month ago about intense activity, and I'd like to have your opinion about it. So it was a moment where I was completely overwhelmed by things to do. So I was starting to plan, and was getting a bit scared and losing a bit track of, my sense of direction. And then they went an insight which said that there was no real movement, that all the movement was inside me. And it was very quick, then everything went into order. There was peace, and the planning stopped, but there was no really need to plan so much, actually. So I wonder, what would you say about such an insight, which is about things which show up in our life?
No, this insight was a good insight. Because it instantaneously took you away from the doer. And then you realize that, in fact, there is only peace at all times. But what is important is to be stable in being peace. And to that end, we should apply Occam's razor to any kind of activity, even if it looks innocent, even if it is just thinking. That relates to a separate consciousness, to me as a person. That's when you become way more efficient in your profession and much happier in your life, less tired. Life will be more enjoyable. And a mind which is at peace is a very good tool for intuition, because the mind is open to intuition if it's not constantly agitated by the me belief. And the way to do it is, on the one hand, to investigate the truth of the me belief as a separate person, to experiment in parallel, to experiment the alternate possibility of universal consciousness in your decisions, in the way you feel and think, and as a case in point regarding the way you feel as an experiment, to drop instantaneously the thought of me as a person, and any thought that would be a direct offspring of this central thought, to drop these thoughts instantaneously as an experiment. Because as an experiment you can't drop a thought. Because if a thought is a liar, if a thought is untrue, there is no danger in dropping it, you see. It will simplify your life. And you can either through your investigation reach the realization that I, as a person, consciousness is not personal but universal. Or you can simply reach a point of not knowing, where you are open to both possibilities. And then the way to decide between these two possibilities is to conduct experiments in your life. And one type of experiment, in this case, is dropping the thought of me as a separate person as it arises. You cannot drop all of them, but if there are too many that arise, but already to drop one once, to have dropped one once like that, is a huge success, because it's dropping the first one, which is the most difficult. And then the second one is easier. And then there is a moment when you can drop them like bam, 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 like that. And then at some point, it seems fastidious, but if you keep doing that, you'll see that at some point they don't come to the surface again. Because and there is no danger, because they were lies in the first place. So there is no, they were just dead wood, in other words, or useless luggage. So that would be my recommendation for living a life which is harmonious, which is free of worries, and in which there is space to do the research you love. So that's